Hello, this is Daniel Mart back again. I'm an actor and filmmaker based out of South Florida, and for this video, I'm going to be reviewing Project Hail Mary, so far the biggest movie that's come out in 2026. Granted, we're only 3 months in, and we have 9 months left to go, so we'll see what happens later down in the year. I'll be honest, I've already seen it twice. That's how good it is. So that should tell you all you need to know. Okay, I guess I could end the review, and that's it. Okay, let's be honest, I'm not going to end the review just like that. Come on, let me tell you a little bit more about this film. So you have this astronaut scientist, portrayed by Ryan Gosling. He's sent up to space to try to basically figure out why the sun, better said, is dying, and why all the stars nearby are also dying. Essentially, there's this special particle that's going out in space that's killing, eating away at stars, any star basically, except for one specific star out there in space, and you have to figure out why that star is not dying to these particles. The Petrova line, and I guess the Petrova particles, I guess is what it was at the end. That's the name of the organism, I guess you could say, that's eating the sun. And in his travels, he basically ETifies it to a certain degree because he meets Rocky. Rocky is his best friend in space. Basically, he's like quite literally like just a giant rock crab, like an actual crab made out of rocks in a lot of ways. Like, kind of random, but he kind of reminded me, at first, kind of reminded me of Geodude. But then it's like, oh wait, Geodude actually has a visible face. So maybe something like Roggenrola. Or what's the middle of, is Roggenrola the first evolution? What's the middle one? Or I think the third one, the third evolution is like Goliath or something like that. Not exactly Goliath, like something like that. Go Goliath or something like that. I'm pretty sure I'm correcting myself right there. But that's basically what it reminded me of those Pokemons for a bit. Again, I've seen it twice, so that alone should speak volumes. But like, this is actually a really incredible movie. And I guess my main question, the question I'm basically asking is this going to become a modern classic sci-fi movie? And I think, yes, I do think at the end of the day, this will become a modern classic. I mean, this is written, the book it's based off, it's another Adam Weir novel. Adam Weir, or Weir, however you pronounce his last name, from 10 years ago. That was The Martian with Matt Damon. That was 10, 11 years ago, you know? So I do think this is going to become a modern classic. You have Phil Lord here, and Miller, I forget his first name, but Lord and Miller, they're directing this, you know? You have Drew Goddard writing this, the actual screenplay for this, you know? You have Ryan Gosling basically producing this film as well. It truly is, like, this movie truly is basically the Ryan Gosling show in a lot of ways, you know? And it's such an incredible film. Because of that, if I'm being honest with you, it's like, he does truly carry this movie basically on his back. Now, that's not to say that he's the only actor in this movie, but when it comes to the actual space parts, the parts where he's actually up there in space trying to figure out this stuff, it's really just him and this this pet rock in a lot of ways. And it's actually pretty endearing, the relationship between him and his pet rock he calls Rocky, you know, for obvious reasons. You know, I also do like how they make the joke, you know, Rocky, not like the movie, but like Rocky, like that's my name. That was pretty funny. So you do have that, and honestly, I think the camaraderie between these two men. This is something I was thinking about. Like, is Rocky a man or is it male? I know it has a male voice, but that's like an automated, like almost Stephen Hawking type of situation where they gave him a male voice. But like, could Rocky actually be female? That's a question. I don't know if anybody's ever thought about. Granted, the movie's only been out for a week, but what about the book? I don't know. You tell me. But that is something that I was like low-key thinking about when I was leaving the theater the other day. Like, is Rocky actually a guy or is it a girl? But that's neither here nor there, because I think the main part of it is the fact just this relationship between him and Rocky, this camaraderie they have between each other. I mean, on both ends, they do sacrifice a part of each other to try to save each other. You know, it's just incredible. Like, there are moments where like you really do feel like Rocky is truly a part of the family, so to speak, in this little spaceship. Like these two people are truly friends. Like, they're interacting with each other. Like Rocky is an actual rock monster alien thing, not instead of an actual puppet, which is what he is in real life. Like, I think that's what I'm trying to say. And it's just incredible. It's just great. And in a lot of ways, like, Rocky's kind of cute, I guess. There's a quote. I forget if this is Spielberg or Cameron. One of them said it, but when talking about aliens, when you're making alien life forms for a movie, they always say, and you want to make them like endearing and cute. One of them said, like, you always have to put like these big eyes. That's why E.T. has those big eyes, you know, stuff like that. And Rocky, for obvious reasons, just the nature of his species, he doesn't have those big eyes, and yet you're still able to connect to Rocky. You're still able to connect with him and his character, and like, even when he sacrifices himself, like, you don't want him to die. You know, you want him to live throughout this whole ordeal. You don't want him to live and die alone out in space. And it's just very tragic in that sense. But that's what goes to show, like, how great of a movie this is, and just how great the directing for this movie is, and how great the writing for this movie is, and even Ryan Gosling on his end, how great of an actor he is, for us to really just care for this puppet at the end of the day. I'm pretty sure it's enhanced with special effects in some ways, visual effects in some ways, but for the most part, like, this is a puppet, and that's one of those things I actually very much appreciated. Like, this truly is a puppet. Now, of course, again, I do know there are parts of the movie where it is, of course, a CGI creation, but just those initial first interactions, like the fact that they were just puppets, it was just pure puppetry. I very much enjoy that. And just to kind of get off of Rocky for a bit, again, Ryan Gosling, he just did an incredible role. A lot of people are saying that this is maybe his best role in the movies, and I'm not sure if I would go that far. I do think if I had to do a list of top 5, top 10 Ryan Gosling performances, I do think this does for sure crack the list. Top 10 for sure. If anything, probably just would be top 5, realistically speaking. I guess my one question to that is, what are we comparing it to? Because I'm thinking, Barbie, I feel like he did a bit more, and I know he got nominated for Half Nelson, so there is that too, but, I feel like Barbie's really, where he's capping off at. Me, personally, I feel. So we'll see how that goes, but, he is given a lot to do in this movie. He's a huge, wide range of emotions, from, this pain and agony of just him being alone out in space, to, him forming this camaraderie with Rocky and being cheerful about it, but then also him looking back at his past, remembering his past and how that's affected him, and then even going into those scenes of the past, how he's interacting with everybody else. And from this point on, I kind of just want to expand to some of the rest of the cast here. Sandra Hüller is the clear standout outside of Ryan Gosling. But Sandra Hüller truly is a standout because she's the most prominent character after Ryan Gosling and after Rocky. She's the scientist, head lady of science, I guess, I forget if it's a FBI or CIA division, basically, but they're the ones trying to figure out and develop a cure to save the sun, I guess, is the best way to word it. Sandra Hüller, she really made a splash a few years back with the double whammy of Anatomy of a Fall and The Zone of Interest. And of course, she's done stuff even before that. I believe she was in Tony Erdmann, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. Right now, she does have a movie coming out later this year called Rose, which, just based off the stills, I'm very excited to watch. But it's one of those things, she gave such a powerful performance. And it's funny because usually I'm the opposite way. Usually when it comes to a supporting performance, I'm oh yeah, I guess it would make sense to nominate them. But I probably wouldn't have nominated them if I was thinking about it myself. But for me, I think this is the opposite, because I've seen a lot of people saying that, yes, Sandra Hüller did give a good performance, but I'm not sure if I would nominate her, which is funny, because for me, I'm no, I 100% would nominate her. I would nominate her in a heartbeat, honestly. I think the only reason people are saying that maybe don't nominate her for this movie is because of Rose, that's coming out later this year, I think around Christmas, if I'm not mistaken, and she may get a Best leading actress nomination for that. But it's also one of those things you could be nominated in multiple categories as an actor. It's happened before, where you're nominated as Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor, Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress. I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say that's happened with Scarlett Johansson in the past 10 years, where she was nominated for both Jojo Rabbit and A Marriage Story. I want to say that's when it happened last. I could be wrong. But there you go. I think that's why most people are saying hey, don't nominate her for this. Nominate her for what's about to come. And I also think that she probably gave one of the best scenes in the movie. Probably. It's one of those things I'd have to think about. If I'm categorizing every single scene and which ones are my favorites. I'm not sure if it reaches number 1, but it definitely reaches top 5. And it's one of those scenes that actually hit me a little harder on the second go around. And that's when she just gets up there, sings karaoke, and sings Sign of the Times by Harry Styles. That's a song I haven't really thought of in such a long time, and then just to bring it to full force in this movie. And apparently that scene, that was basically improvised. They had 48 hours to set that up, and the only reason it happened is because Ryan Gosling heard Sandra Hüller randomly singing during on break, I guess, and he was hey, you should sing on camera for the film. And she was hey, that's a good idea. Hey, how do we set that up? Hey, let me talk to the directors. Hey, now I'm singing with Harry Styles. Awesome. Just awesome. The one complaint I will say, and it was more so for the first time I watched it versus the second time I watched it, so take this for what you will, but I did feel the first time I watched it was a little bit slow at the beginning, because here's the thing, this movie is about 2.5 hours long, maybe a bit longer than that, and there is a small part in the beginning, in the middle of the beginning, I guess you could say, the 30 to 60 minute mark, I want to say, so maybe somewhere around there, where I do feel there is a bit of a dip in regards to the story, in regards to actually advancing the plot, in regards to what needs to be done to get these characters from point A to point B. That, I will say, that was maybe the only negative I have for this movie, where it does kind of take a bit of a dip, a bit of a dog between the 30 and 60 minute mark. But again, that's just me personally. Who knows what everybody else is thinking? Because overall, this is such a great movie. There's a lot of moments of comedy. I remember I was talking about it with my friends when we came out of the theater, but there's a lot of moments of comedy, and it's not to say that this is an outright comedy festival, so to speak, type of movie. But there are some moments where it's like, wow, that's a genuine chuckle, that's a genuine laugh, and you're making me laugh, and it's just great in that regard. And overall, I think this is such a great film overall, and I can't wait to, honestly, who knows, maybe I'll watch it for a third time in theaters. You know, who knows? But like even outside of that, like I can't wait to like own the Blu-ray and like pop it up in my TV and just watch it. You know, granted, eventually because I do have a backlog of movies I need to watch, but that's neither here nor there. But like, overall, I thought this was such an incredible film. I very much liked it a lot. I heard something recently in regards to this film, and I'm kind of inclined to agree. And it's one of those things that somebody said that this is maybe the first true family film that we've had in a long time. And I'm just like, what, does Disney and Pixar not count? Do the Spider-Man movies not count? Does, like, anything low-key Marvel does not count? Does that not count as family movies? Even that aside, I think it's just such a great movie. Again, I'm not sure if I would put it in my top 10 favorite modern sci-fi movies, or what was the list I said? Like, I guess best sci-fi movies or space movies, that's the list. I'm not sure if I would have put it in the top 5, maybe top 10. I mean, thing is, you're going against 2001, you're going against Star Wars, Star Trek right off the bat, you know, Interstellar as well. So, like, you do have some heavy competition right off the bat, you know, you got Apollo 13, for example, as well. I mean, overall, I think this is an incredible film, regardless of where in the pantheon of greater sci-fi movies, especially space-based movies, like, if I was on, I still think this is an incredible movie. And I do think that this will be nominated for a bunch of awards come Oscar season. I think the biggest one out right off the bat is visual effects, and I think honestly, if Dune were to come out this year, I'm pretty sure that this movie wins Best Visual Effects. I mean, outside of that, what else could it win? Or sorry, what else could it be nominated for? I mean, I do think this will be nominated for some kind of sound category. Or, I mean, the only sound category we have nowadays. So I do think we could get that. Maybe a screenplay nomination. I think as it stands now, because we have so little information to go off of, I may be overestimating where it could place. But I feel like 100% it places in visual effects and it places in sound. Past that, who knows? Maybe adapted screenplay, maybe lead actor for Ryan Gosling. I think that one's very likely to happen, all things considered. Best supporting actress for Sandra Hüller, that would be great. You know, like best director, best picture, just throw it in there, why not? And I feel like I'm missing one. Best screenplay, best adapted screenplay. I think that's the other one I'm missing, as the visual effects and sound. I mean, unless there's a song for this I don't know about. Score, score is actually really good. I can see this being nominated for score now that I think about it, so you have that too. But like overall, I think this is such a great film. You know, it's such a great way to kick off the 2026 movie season in general. And yeah, I truly am excited to watch it again. And again, I really don't see anything bad with this movie. Again, there's a bit of a lull in about the 30 to 60 minute mark, but even then, that for me, that just happened in the first watch, not the second watch. Overall, still a great movie. I can't wait to watch it again in general, whether it be here, at home, or in theaters. Both times I saw it in IMAX, and it's like, yes, this is the type of movie you see in IMAX. This is the type of movie where it's demanded of you to watch it in IMAX. But overall, this was such a great movie. Like I was talking to a few of my friends who actually did read the book, and they pointed out some of the differences. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Low-key though, I kind of don't care because this is just such a great movie. Maybe in a few more rewatches, I'll consider putting it in the top 5 of best like sci-fi space travel movies. But as it stands now, it probably makes top 10. If not, definitely top 15. I'll just say that much. It definitely breaks top 15. I'd be shocked if she doesn't break top 15. Again, I would like to see Sandra Hüller get nominated. I don't think it will happen, sadly, but that would be great. Again, she may be competing with herself because of Rose, whenever that comes out, but that's neither here nor there. And then the Ryan Gosling of it all, I do think he is a shoo-in to at least be nominated for Best Actor. As it stands now, we'll see what else happens. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on the movie? You know, did you like it? Did you not like it? Comment on that W, let me know. I mean, for me, again, I thought this was such an incredible film. Loved it a lot, clearly. I saw it twice. So, I mean, what more proof do you need? Yeah, past that, that's basically it for now. Comment all your thoughts on the movie down below, let me know. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart, signing off.